Hello. So today we're looking at cabling because I happen to be working on the cable pattern for the next Yarn Genie headband. This is going to be a unicorn headband. Shh, don't tell anybody. And so Joe said, "Oh, well, look, do a little video on cabling." She's mean like that. She always sets me up to do things.
You're so
Don't
good at
apologise,
it.
Joe. You mean it.
You're so good at it.
Oh, thank you. Flattery will get you everywhere. So look, I'm going to work on this cabling, and I don't know if you can you see the cable pattern there?
We can.
We can, good. So we get into this point, so what we've got is we've got our cables twisting. It's like a Celtic knot, and so the rule with a Celtic knot is they go over and under and over and under. Can you see that? So each line goes over and under. So anyway, I've got two here and they're going to part, so I've got a line going up the top here, and these two are about to cross. So we're going to go, if we look at this one it just went over, so this has got to go under, and this one went under, so this is going over. So we're crossing this left side over the right hand cable. So that's what we're going to work on now. So first of all we're going to knit up here. So we're knitting two, this is the outside cable, and then we're purling in the background. So I've got 3 purl stitches there. General rule with a rule with cabling is that they're effectively worked in stocking stitch, so you always copy the stitch that's below. So if you're looking at the V of a knit stitch, you will knit this stitch, and if you're looking at the purl bump of a purl stitch, you will purl that stitch. So you should always know whether you're going to knit or purl a stitch. And now we've got to the cabling bit, so we've got 4 knit stitches there, and that's 2 cables coming together, and I need to cross them. So as I say, we're going to take this right hand one behind. So first of all we take the stitches from the cable and we're going to put them onto a cable pin. Well, most people use a cable pin. I'm using a stitch marker because these are very small, and I find that the cable pins simply just fall out and then my stitches fall off. I think I must wave my knitting around a bit too much, and so that's a problem. So if I loop them onto a little stitch marker, I find that they stay put, and that's fine. So I can flop that either to the front or the back depending on what I'm doing. Now because I want to bring these 2 stitches in front of the ones that I've taken off, I'm going to push this to the back, and then I'm going to knit the 2 stitches here of this cable across the top, so you can see the cross has happened there. So then we take these 2 stitches and I'm just going to slide them back onto my left hand needle, put the stitch marker down, and then we're going to knit these 2 stitches, and it can feel a little bit tight, but it's okay. Oops, just work around it. There we go, and that's the cross has happened there. Can you see that?
You can see that.
Yeah. And then we carry on. No more crossing for this particular row, so I'm just going to carry on purling the pearls and knitting the knits. And there's our little cable cross has happened here. So all the crosses happen on the right side of the knitting. If we turn it round, the wrong side of the knitting, you see it doesn't quite look the same, does it? But when you're knitting the back side of your work, you always are just repeating. You're purling the pearls and knitting the knits, but there won't be any cabling, there won't be any crossing going along there. So you can see I'm just working where I've got a knit bump, a knit V, I'm knitting the stitch. Where I've got a purl bump, I'm going to purl the stitch. So you can work it out without checking with your pattern every row, and as you get used to it, oops, split the yarn there, it gets easier to work it. And then what I'll show you when we've just got through this side is you can see the other side, and now we can see the cross is a little clearer now. We've got an extra row, and so we'll carry on. This pattern actually moves the cables almost every row, every knit row. So the next one, I think, oh, let's have a look at this. This is going to move, these are going to move out one more. So I'm going to take this one over one of these purl stitches. So I'm actually parting these 2 cables. Do you want to see me do that? You want to do that bit as well?
On, then.
Oh, lots to do here. Okay, so here we're going to knit this 1, 2. We're going to purl these 2. And then what I'm going to do here is I want to take, see this purl stitch, I'm going to move that into the middle between these two cables, and I'll do the same on this side. I'm going to move that purl stitch into the middle of there. So I'm moving the cables further out. So I'm going to take this purl, now the purl stitch, that's a background, that's always going to go behind. So they would never go in front. So we knit there, and then I'm going to knit the 2 cable stitches. And then we bring the purl stitch back. It's the background stitch. No, I can't. If I put it in my mouth, that's a really bad idea, isn't it? Because then I can't talk. Well, some people might think that was an advantage. So there's the purl stitch going on there. So we've moved this cable 1 stitch across. And then I'm going to take this stitch here. So these 2, and these are going to come in front because this is the cable, the knit bit of the cable. We'd always want that in front. So knit there, sorry, purl there. And then we put these 2 back onto my needle, and we knit those 2. There we go. And then purl these 2 background stitches and knit those 2. And there you go. There's another one. So now can you see you're just starting to get the purl stitches appear in the middle, and when we do the next row on the back, that'll become a little more obvious as they split out. So it's kind of this part of the pattern here.
So
where it's moving, where we're moving
right to the
exactly edge. They're going to move all the way out to the side there. So there you go, that's a bit of cabling for you.
Thank you.